Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is late where I'm at, but Facebook reported earnings, and it was really good earnings, okay? So, I gotta do a video on it. Alright, let's see here. Let's get right into it. Facebook's daily active users from Q1 to Q2 was up from 1.73 billion to 1.79 billion, up. And it's also up 12% year over year, which is crazy because so many people already use Facebook, and there's how many people in the world? There's 7 to 8 billion people in the entire world, and about 2 billion use Facebook on a daily basis. 25% of the whole world does. That is insane. You're giving all the people that live in really remote areas of the world, and still a lot use Facebook every day. And as for like your monthly users, I think it's up over 2 billion, almost 3 billion, I think. So half the world using Facebook almost. Facebook is no joke, okay? And with all this corona stuff going around, Facebook has COVID-19 center that has directed over 2 billion people to COVID health information. All right, so Facebook is a highly adaptable business, and they're in it to serve people. Yes, they make money, but they're in it to serve people, and in the conference call they made that morally known. Serve people, okay? So that's what they're doing, and in the process, they're making money, and the business is growing. So that's awesome. All right. They also said that in a matter of several years, they want 50% of their employees to be working in remote areas, okay? So basically they want to diversify their employees, and they want to span out, and they want to reach small businesses, and they want to reach out to different parts of the world. And by doing that, they're going to be flying people over to different parts of the world to interview people for the job in Facebook, and it's going to be really diverse. Facebook is going to be truly global, if it already is. Facebook launched Facebook Shop back in May, and that is to let small businesses set up a store across all Facebook apps. So not just Facebook, it's also Instagram and WhatsApp, okay? So, it's going to be huge. It's going to interconnect all the Facebook platforms, and basically it's going to allow for a broad market on marketing. It's going to be good. WhatsApp is up to 50 million people using it now, and WhatsApp's going through some pretty insane growth, and there's going to be a lot of marketing on WhatsApp too, as far as embedded links to different websites, and basically their different websites are going to have options to pay right there, and Facebook Pay too, and I'll get into that in a minute. Facebook has been doing grants for small businesses. Small businesses have been hurt substantially by COVID because they don't have all the free cash flow that all these large businesses do. So Facebook's helping them out, and they're helping out small Black-owned businesses too, which is really good with times we're going in now. Facebook's trying to help out the fact that minorities in general, and specifically Black people, have been systemically oppressed. And I'm not here to say, all that stuff. I'm just saying, by statistics, it's just facts. And Facebook is going to help out, which is really good for relations and good for people they're helping out. So Facebook will be focusing on getting hate speech out, and I like the move with Facebook, but there's also the whole side of the First Amendment, and I don't like racist people, but racist people do have their own opinion and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how Facebook navigates through shrinking people's First Amendment on their site, which is basically a First Amendment type of business. So that should be interesting. Facebook, $8.3 billion in revenue, 10%, $18.3 billion in ad revenue, which is a 10% increase. Wow. They're increasing with COVID still, even with the companies going out of business, stuff like that. It is amazing. Only Facebook can do something like that, right? 9 million advertisers use Facebook as a way to market. Facebook's marketing is so diverse to where if one of their players or several of their players were like, forget Facebook, I'm not gonna go to them, they would be fine, because truly Facebook has so many customers, and the customer base is so diverse, they'd be fine no matter what. So that's awesome as far as that goes. And it's good for shareholders like me, okay? Facebook does personalized ads also, as far as ads go, and that's the future. Personalized ads are a lot more efficient for companies because companies don't have to go out to TVs or radios or I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, they can target specific audiences. Facebook has so much data and it knows what you like and what somebody else likes to where, they can personalize the ads to fit you. I like basketball, right? So I see a lot of basketball ads on Facebook. I also like stocks. I see a lot of stock ads on Facebook. Facebook knows. Just know, bro. Facebook knows. All right. Next. In March, Facebook launched Resource Hub, which is meant to teach business owners how to use social media effectively to sell it and how to market. A lot of these other business owners don't know how to use social media as an efficient ways to market, and Facebook is actually educating them, which is good for Facebook's business and good for them. And so, awesome. Facebook basically, their price per ad is down 12%, due to COVID. Companies don't have as much money to pay Facebook for ads, so it's down a little bit. And Facebook's expenses are up 24%. And that might be because Facebook has had to deal with so much legal things and so much government regulation. They've had to pay a lot of attorneys to handle cases. And of course, they want to handle the best attorneys because lawsuits, regulation, especially regulation, can determine a lot of how your business will go as far as moving forward. Because if the federal government hammers down on Facebook, it could really hinder their growth as a company. You say for Amazon, Apple, all the big tech and FANG stocks. Okay, you gotta make the Fed happy sometimes. Facebook has 52,000 total employees, up 32% year over year from last year. 4,200 new hires in Q2. That's amazing because as other businesses are failing out there and struggling to survive, Facebook is growing. It's hiring more people. Added 4,200 jobs just last quarter alone during COVID. Like, that is ridiculous. Blows my mind. That's why I'm proud of a Facebook shareholder. I'm just gonna say that right now. It touches my heart, indeed. Facebook was expected to do $1.39 in net profit per share. Instead, they blew analysts' expectations out of the water and did $1.80 even during the pandemic. Facebook, y'all. Facebook is constructing their own data center. It's going to be in Illinois, and it is 100% renewable energy. So if you see Facebook's expenses go up a lot too, it could be because they're building a data center, and data centers are really expensive to build. There's so much technology, and they're so massive. Like Switch, for example. I'm really bullish on their data center things. And I have a video on Switch and outlining my thesis on Switch and going into the company and all that too. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link, and I'm gonna have a card up there too. So basically, it costs so much, and Switch data centers are like millions of square feet. Okay, so I'm not sure if Facebook's gonna be that big, but it's going to be big to house all their data. So they have that going on. Facebook has $514 million in free cash flow. We all know Facebook's breaded, right? They're rich. Facebook's rich. Management said Q3 expected to be up another 10% as far as growth rate goes, which is awesome. Facebook's biggest enemies is regulations, economic worries, and future stimulus. Regulations, of course, like I said earlier, the Fed has a lot to do with how much they allow Facebook to grow, and if they consider to be them like a trust. And back in the day, all the trust got busted up and stuff like that with Roosevelt as president way back in the day. So, Facebook got to watch out for that. Of course, that's largely out of their control, but they can do things to sort of appease the government. So that economic will be sort of big as far as the companies and them affording to ads and revenue and all that. And then stimulus package, if people have more money, and if the government's talking about small businesses, they'll have more money to put into Facebook and just the whole economy in general. So e-commerce, they're focused on shops across platforms and Facebook Pay. Basically, Facebook Pay is going to be like a way to pay on Facebook to where if you buy something from that's advertised on Facebook for another company or whatever, you can pay right there on Facebook too. So it's like, very, very, very efficient, and it keeps everybody on the same platform. So it'd be good. They're gearing towards helping small businesses, and especially in like remote areas too. So that's what Facebook's really focused on right now. Most of their clients, as far as advertising, is small businesses. They have other large businesses, but mostly small businesses. So that's a big part for them, and they're gonna focus on that. India is a big opportunity for them. There's so many people in India, so many small businesses in India, that basically in India there are 1 billion people, if not 2 billion, like just in India. I think, I can't remember 1 or 2 billion, but anyways, that's a lot of people, and it's a lot of growth that can happen just in India. So they're targeting India. Facebook was referred by management as an ecosystem, and I couldn't agree more. Facebook has so many facets, so many parts that it's its own like your basically society, it's its own world, and you can do so many things in Facebook. You can, I don't even have to go into it. You can buy, sell, trade. There's different groups you can get into, buy, sell. There's just so much really. So Facebook also bought Mixer. So basically, Mixer's 3rd place in gaming and streaming. First is YouTube, and second is Twitch. But 3rd is not bad, and it's further diversified in Facebook. And basically, Facebook said they wanted to get really heavy into VR gaming. That's virtual reality. That's the future. It's basically 360 degrees, and it's super interactive. It's like the Nintendo Wii on steroids. Like you put on goggles or whatever, and for example, if you're playing like a shooting game, it gives you like a prop gun, and you go around and you have to do things, and it's like you're in a different world, and it's like you're actually in the game. So it's really cool. Facebook grew 11% despite Rona. Whew. Facebook's a beast, y'all. And I know Wall Street started to get on the whole Facebook bandwagon finally. Facebook's not quite a $1 trillion market cap. I think that they can get to over $1 trillion one day, possibly 1.5 to $2 billion, and depending on how they execute, and depending on how government regulation goes in the future. So I can see Facebook stock price getting to $400 relatively soon. It's $250 right now, so it can pack its pounds, because Apple and Amazon have packed on a lot of price lately, but Facebook hasn't really done it yet. It's been staying between anywhere from 150 to like maybe 225 or so, and it is recently broke past the 220 barrier recently, so I think it's got a lot of room to run. Thanks for watching my video, and I'm trying to make it too long. I tried to get to the main point. So, and me doing like a 15-minute video, it saved me a lot of time versus having to go through the whole hour conference call. So that's the main highlights. If you have any questions, leave in the comment section, like, subscribe if you want, help the channel, man. But I hope I help. So I'm out. Daddy Gaines out. See ya.